In April of 2006, the Wilkes County Commissioners appointed a committee to work toward collecting, preserving, and making Wilkes County history available in DVD format, and to prepare to celebrate the county's 230th birthday in 2008.
How did it all happen? Who did it? You know, the good and the bad. The railroad story is just fascinating. It's got good and it's got the tough times.
You are asked to share your history by contacting the Wilkes Community College Library. The western part of Wilkes County is a mountainous region filled with as much history as it is with beauty. To the north is Mulberry and Miller's Creek. To the west is Mount Pleasant, Champion, Cricket, and the Watauga County line. To the east is Union School. And to the south is Carscott Lake. Miller's Creek is located approximately 6 miles west of North Wilkesboro and made up of 9 miles of rolling countryside. It likely got its name from the fact that there was once a mill for grinding corn or grain near the head of the creek, thus the name, Miller's Creek. It's also home to John and Etta Lee Idle, famous teachers in the area. Mrs. Idle taught chemistry and many other subjects.
My uncle, Dr. Franklin Shepard, was a staunch believer in education, and as a very young child, I was exposed to books. Professor C.C. Wright, superintendent of Wilkes County Schools until 1932, was a constant visitor in our home, and upon most visits, Professor Wright would bring me a book. I remember getting up real early on cold mornings, sitting in front of the fireplace and reading a book while breakfast was being prepared.
Mr. Idle rose to become the principal at Miller's Creek, then to assistant superintendent of Wilkes County Schools. Following that appointment, he became the first dean of students at Wilkes Community College and a member of the Board of Trustees there. Mr. Idle was also a member of the Wilkes County Board of Education.
I think when I got to the college, they had about 60. And when I finished, we had over 2,500 because I knew all the principals in the district and I had good relationship with them. And I'd go to Watauga County, Wilkes County Schools, Allegheny, Yadkin, Ash, and all I had to do was tell the principal I'd like to talk with the seniors. And I'd get them in a room and I'd tell them what I represented. And I also told them if they went to Wilkes Community College 2 years, they'd be halfway through college and they still wouldn't have to leave home. And so the students liked that idea, and it didn't cost much either. Another thing I did was I established scholarships, and I had scholarships for sometimes almost half the class that come in back then. The banks would give me scholarships and businesses would give me scholarships and individuals, and I didn't hesitate to ask them for it, and they were, seemed to be glad to do it.
Miller's Creek High School graduated its first class in 1930. The first brick structure was built in 1936. This had 15 rooms, a lounge, and an office. It served both elementary and high school students. Miller's Creek and Mount Pleasant High School classes were consolidated upon the construction of West Wilkes High School in 1956. The first class graduated 95 students in 1957. Miller's Creek Primary and Intermediate were approved as a new school site in 1975. In 2005, the elementary school experienced yet another consolidation with the closing of Union Elementary School. Miller's Creek Baptist Church purchased the old Miller's Creek School building in 1981 and began holding services in the renovated building in 1988. They opened Miller's Creek Christian School on the campus in 1997. At one time, Miller's Creek boasted 6 churches, a public library, 8 stores, 2 restaurants, 1 beauty parlor, an insurance agency, a clubhouse, a youth center, and a gunsmith shop. The clubhouse was used for meetings of such groups as the Home Extension Club, which sought to help the rural homemaker and introduce her to new ideas and methods. There have also been service stations, dress shops, an ice cream store, a television repair shop, a jewelry store, hardware stores, drug stores, banks, and a post office. Some suggest that Miller's Creek had the first volunteer fire department in a rural section of the county. The Millers Creek Volunteer Fire Department was chartered in 1956. They bought a 1957 fire truck new for the price of $10,000. To equip and operate the department, they needed to generate funds. One way they raised money was by selling barbecue chicken. A pit was built and they sold barbecue chickens for $1 each. Clayton Bumgarner made the first barbecue sauce for chicken barbecues and sold it under his name. It helped make the events an instant success, and the most popular fundraiser in Wilkes was born. The R.D. Hayes & Sons store, also known as the Hayes Serve-You Grocery, closed its doors after 60 years of service to the Millers Creek community in 2000. The store was opened in 1941 by R.D. Hayes. When the doors opened, the inventory was valued at $345.
We used, everybody had flour back then.
Right.
Flour and just staples of all kinds that most people have to have.
Crossroads Academy was also located in the Millers Creek area on land given by Momp Nelson. Local citizens built the building at the crossroads of the community and heated the structure with 2 wood stoves. Eventually, the building fell into disrepair, and around the turn of the 20th century, it was replaced by a 2-room common school building. Cricket was named in 1888 by the Post Office Department. Supposedly, the name came as a result of indecision. People at a meeting held in the late 1880s to discuss the naming of the new post office could not decide what to call it, so they agreed to name the post office for the next sound they heard. A cricket is said to have jumped across the hearth. This seemed an apt symbol to those assembled, as they associated the cricket with happiness, industriousness, and progressiveness. Prior to 1850, there was a building in Cricket called the H.C. Pennell Home Place that was a landmark for travelers between Jefferson and Winston-Salem. It was the only painted house on the wagon trail, and people stopped at the spring to water their teams, refresh themselves, and often camp overnight. Cricket School was opened in 1914. The original white frame building was destroyed as a result of hurricane-force storms and subsequently condemned. A brick building was constructed in 1949 that consolidated Cricket School and Buck School to form Union Elementary School. This school closed at the end of the 2003-2004 school year as a result of consolidation with Millers Creek Elementary School. Celebration Church currently occupies the old school building. Miss Irene Parsons, who was reared in the Cricket community of North Wilkesboro, was appointed by President Lyndon B. Johnson as Master of Science in Public Administration in 1965, as Personnel Director for the Veterans Administration, and the only woman Director of Personnel for a major government agency. Miss Parsons served as a Coast Guard lieutenant during World War II. She was a graduate of the University of North Carolina and was awarded a Doctor of Laws by that institution for her equal rights of women and minority groups. Many headlines and featured stories were in newspapers announcing this appointment. In the northwest corner of the county, on Highway 16 en route to Ashe County, there's a tiny overlook known as the Jumping Off Place. Some say this was where people could go and wish things away by throwing them off the 1,200-foot cliff.
I don't know if anybody ever jumped off or not. Yeah, there was one thrown off of there that they found. He was killed in Ashe County and served off the jumping off place.
The Reddys River begins near the top of the Blue Ridge Mountains and flows southward about 20 miles before it joins the Yadkin River. On either side of the Reddys River are wide, fertile valleys suitable for successful farming. The mountains that surrounded and overhung this stream were bountiful with timber and wildlife. One of the earliest churches in the county was the Reddys River Church of Christ. Constituted in 1798, this church consisted of 23 charter members who had previously attended an arm of the Flat Rock Baptist Church. Deep Ford Hill Church was also in this area. Prior to 1957, Union Township consolidated Sherman or Shepherd, White Oak, Oak Grove, Whittington, Concord, Piney Ridge Miller, Loggins, Harmon, and Friendship schools in the Reddys River area. This transition from 1- and 2-teacher schools into the modern Union Township School exemplified progress in education. Due to the mountainous terrain, consisting of the slopes of the Blue Ridge and foothills, these schools were among the last in the area to feel the impact of modernization. The schools, which were merged to form Union Township, were housed in a modern brick building with central heat, plumbing, and a modern water system.